Right then, in this little video here, I'm going to attempt to explain to you how this crazy library system works. So, first thing you do is hit the computer, well, not hit it, but hit the spacebar, and then you'll see that it comes up with this login screen. So, what you do is you press Control or Delete, obviously, and the password is capital M, ED1A, capital L, 0AN5, and then you log in, and then you're logged in. And I'm going to put another post-it note up here actually with that username and password just behind it. So on this screen here, if you reach around the back, you'll find a post-it note that will have that password on. So if you just have a look at this, what you do then to start off from scratch, because I'll show it to you without anything. So let's just quit all this stuff. This is as if you were just logging in. So as if the computer was off, you just turned it on and it had just logged in. So move the camera a little bit closer. Let's have a look. Right, now what you do is you double click on the eclipse.net. So Eclipse, there's a kind of internet shortcut there called Eclipse, and that enters you into the library system and loads it. Now all of our equipment is logged on here, so that's obviously quite useful for us. If you get any new equipment, obviously you can log it on. We haven't got anything coming at the moment, but obviously we can do. Now the one that you use to distribute equipment is this one, so you click on circulate, and that's the one with a little kind of icon that looks a bit like this. And this is our barcode reader. You press the button to activate it. Once you've clicked circulate, circulate window should pop up. Also you've got it's coming up with an error message. Alright, so when we get that error message, it's best to kind of cancel. Oh, here it is. Right, okay, cool. Circulate's now decided to come up, but anyway. Probably because I pressed it twice and the second time it did load. So that's what circulate looks like once you've got it there. The other thing that you might need to use, now this circulate's quite useful, so what you do is you get a borrower, you ask them for their library card. Their library card will look like that, it's got a barcode on it. You get your barcode reader and you then scan the barcode. The circulate will then bring up the information about the borrower. Now mine's got a message on it just to remind me that Mary Polkenhorn has got this flip cam, so I just close that for a minute and there it is. That's the actual thing that's been issued there. It's an SENI flip camera, but SEN are looking after it, so that's fine. When you want to scan a new borrower, you click the new button up the top there, and you then scan the borrower's barcode, close any messages, and then you take the piece of equipment that the borrower wants to borrow, and then you scan the other barcode. You do have to go quite close to it. Now this has come up with a note now saying this borrower isn't allowed to borrow the resource. The reader's got an overdue item, but that's me and it's fine. It's just because we don't have that camera anymore, so I've just made a note of it. And then I'll just say yes to issue the resource immediately, and then I have issued myself a mini DV camera. Now ideally I should have ticked the overnight box first, because all of our equipment in media should be booked overnight, so if you can remember, just do it as an overnight loan. If you forget, what you can do is just select the loan again, so I'm just selecting the mini DV camera, click the overnight box and then tick the renew box, and then what will happen is that will actually come back and be renewed as an overnight loan. So the loan period then says 1. Okay, and that's how you loan out equipment. Now if you need to look at our equipment or see what's out, then you use the management section, so it's the first kind of tab on that, and it brings open a big screen. Alright, and then in there you've got this list of resources. If you click on the resources list, if you want to view all of the media studies resources only, go down the bottom right hand corner here to this, to page views, and then scroll down until you find hardware. Now if you double click on hardware, then it will just display the hardware. Now all of this hardware, everything with a little kind of mobile phone icon like that, all of that is our media studies equipment. Okay, so you can scroll along with that, you can see what we've got out and what we haven't got out. At the moment it looks like we haven't got anything booked out, except for probably the SEN camera. When it's overdue it comes up in red, and when it's just been borrowed it comes up in blue. So this one here, mini DV camera 9, has actually been borrowed. Alright, and that's because I've just borrowed it. So you see I've just done this one, it's not overdue yet, I've got it overnight, and if you double click on it, it will tell you who's borrowed it. There it is. It comes up with a lot of lists about this particular resource. You can click on loans there and you can see it's loaned to me. Alright, so have a play around with that system, see what you fancy doing, and yeah, I will actually return this camera at the moment, because if I go back to circulate, to return the camera you just click on it and you go return, and then you say yes, and then you can return it. Now if for whatever reason you haven't got a library card, you can still go on this new, and actually if you then go to borrowers you can type in a name. So if I type in Winter, for example, it's myself, then yeah, I can find my library details there anyway. So you can lend it to kids that don't have a library card, but obviously as kind of department policy, we like to insist on them having a library card. But obviously if it's a nice kid and they've just forgotten for whatever reason, you can lend them stuff just by typing in the name of the borrower there, blah, blah, blah. Similarly, you can actually book out a piece of equipment with just the barcode number. So if for whatever reason the system is down, just make a note of the name of the borrower and the number on the barcode. So the barcode will have numbers there, and if you just make a note of that, then obviously we can then update the records on the electronic system when it gets going. But until then, the best thing to do is just write it on a piece of paper, and if possible put it in our booking calendar on the media blog web address. Alright, and that should be it. And then we can get rid of all this stuff, and I tend to leave this computer on, but we can, because basically it takes so long to log in, it's best to leave it logged in and then on, so when you come to it you can just log in. Okay, and that's it.